Hi, everyone, and welcome to the year ahead Soul Illumination reading for the sign of Libra. This is I Am Illuminated Tarot reading for Soul Illumination. So hi, everyone, and welcome. This reading is going to be a little different than my usual monthly readings for each sign. This one is going to be taking a look at the energy for the year ahead. So we're going to be pulling a card here first, Libra, to really take a look at the overarching theme for the year. We're going to be looking at also pulling a tarot card to get another kind of main focus. And then we're going to be pulling additional cards and clarifiers to really take a look at kind of how the year is going to progress for you. So the card that came out here as one of your main themes for the year is it's chop wood, which is number 42, breaking down to the number 6 in numerology. Now what's interesting is the number 42 combines the numbers of 4 and 2. The number of 4 is hard work, it's building firm foundations, and the number 2 is our interrelationship with others or working with others. And Libra, you know all about that because you are the sign that actually focuses on balance and working with others. Now, bringing those two numbers together, there is going to be, I feel just intuitively, this is a year of building new foundations that will take work, but it will be all based around looking at your connections with others. This might be a year where you are changing support systems. This might be a year where maybe you are finding a new way to act in interactions that involve you and another person. But there is a sense here of working with others to build new firm foundations. Now, I'm going to actually read the little excerpt that comes with this card in the book that comes with this deck. So let's see here. Chop wood. Number 42. Okay, so it says essential meanings: being grounded in everyday experience, humility. It says the oracle's message: there are times when the big dream is meant to lie dormant in your consciousness so that you can pay attention to the simple chores in your life. Consider why pruning a tree is the forerunner of delight in the beautiful blooms when it is in full blossom. The mundane act of pulling off dead leaves, watering the soil, and then leaving it be to let nature take its course is an important step in manifestation. Taking your attention away from your goal brings you into a state of receptivity. This is the deeper purpose for releasing attachment. When you engage in everyday tasks in a meditative, contemplative way, you clear your energy to receive your aha moments, which bring you even closer to what you seek. So in a way, there's also a sense here coming through with this card of, because this is a year really to focus on really being present, talking about really focusing on the mundane tasks, but being present while you're doing that, almost building in what you're doing in the present moment as a meditative experience. But there's this awareness with the number, again, the 4 and the 2 coming through, an awareness of what you're building in the present moment. And without that I'd say sometimes we can get fixated on what we want that ultimate goal to be, and instead really enjoying the moment so that in the moment you are present enough to be making the right decisions, to be maybe even keeping your home life or your personal life very organized and grounded, so that you are pulling in, you are setting the stage in a healthy way to really bring in probably a major change that wants to come in for you. I notice when we have these kind of cards that kind of say, just focus on the day-to-day, kind of get all your ducks in a row, it's because there's something big coming in that wants to have that firm foundation to land on. So this is actually a very positive card, and it's one that says enjoy the moment. So there's going to be a lot of moments, I feel, this year for you, Libra, where you're going to be really focusing. There's going to be a lot of things that you can enjoy, a lot of those moments that are going to be coming in, and Spirit doesn't want you to miss those moments. Now let's go ahead here and see. There's a sense too, it's kind of funny because this just came through. So I am going to mention this as well. There was, the one word with the essential meanings of humility that came through. And when I'm looking at this image, there's a sense of that scene or the little piece in the movie Fantasia where, it's Mickey Mouse and he's left with the broom and the magician's wand. And there's that sense of he was bored with his day-to-day tasks. He didn't want to do his chores. And so he thought he was going to use the magic wand to make the broom and make everything kind of clean up for himself. And so there was a lack of humility. There was a sense of kind of being bigger than he thought. He thought he could wield the wand of the practiced magician. So just keep that in mind, that there's a sense here of even learning. You might be being, again, if you're building new firm foundations, you might be thrown into new situations. And so there's a sense of allowing yourself to learn through kind of direct experience, meaning that you may be starting a new job, you may be moving to a new location, and then there's a sense of really gaining your footing. Like, realize that you might be in new situations that you might have to experience a little bit of humility. Like if they say, hey, you have to scrub the dishes before you become the head cook. There's a reason for that. There's a sense of when we know kind of all the things that happen up to the top, the end goal, we have a broader grasp of the why things are done in a certain way. But there's also a sense too of feeling that pride of not skipping those steps, of that, job well done, and being able to say, I was down there too in the trenches at one point. So kind of keep that in mind. There's a sense of that came through very strongly for me. So, and I have Libra as my moon placement. So I'm definitely going to keep this in mind as well as I move through the year ahead. All right, I'm going to pull a secondary card here, a secondary oracle card. Now, this is a new deck I've been working with. I've really enjoyed it. It's the Wild Elemental deck by Michelle Motuzas. And it's been fun. I like the little descriptions. They're very to the point. So we have Owl, which I love, number 38, one of my favorite numbers as well. That's a number that reduces to the number 11, which to me is always the portal, the gateway between what is and what can be, when we have the courage to kind of accept the hand of spirit that's reaching out to pull us through that doorway. And sometimes we're not ready, to make that happen. But I feel for many of you with Owl coming in, there's that intuitive wisdom, the divine presence really in your life this year. So let's see, number 38. So it's associated with air, and it says owl attributes: stealth, secrecy, silent and swift movement, seeing behind masks, keen sight, messenger of secrets and omens, shape-shifting, link between the dark, unseen world and the world of light, comfort with shadow self, moon magic, and freedom. Owl comes to you when she needs you to see things that are being hidden from you. Pay attention. Secrets are about to be revealed. Be proactive and allow yourself to accept the information. Do not react, but when you choose to act, come from a place of wisdom and clear sight. Know that not all is as it seems, which is perfect for you, Libra, because not only are you the cardinal air sign, but you are also someone who is able to really use your keen insight and intellect to be able to look at all sides of a situation before you act or make a decision. And this is saying that you're going to be kind of in your element this year, that your keen eyesight is really going to be something that is going to be needed. And if there are secrets to come out, or if there are information, there's something that is revealed, you're going to be the person that other people might look to for help or for some type of analysis of the situation. Okay, now I'm going to pull one tarot card as well before we pull the rest to take a look at the year ahead. But this tarot card is going to give us another focus. So as you're building these foundations, as you're really staying present in the present moment, as you're enjoying the small things, and as you're getting ready to really wield your true talent, which is your keen intellect, we're going to see what else this is going to pertain to here. Okay, yeah, so we have the Five of Pentacles. So the Five of Pentacles is a sense of this year is going to be a year that really has you address any areas in your life where you have felt either left out by others or where you have felt like you don't have enough. Now, because it is Pentacles, this can be where you don't feel like you have enough support. Anything in the physical, where you don't feel like you have enough time, where you don't feel like you have enough money. There is a sense of a lack mentality that comes in with the Five of Pentacles. And many of you are going to get, I feel, to the root of where this possible block might be coming in for you. Or maybe you've prevented yourself, maybe you've told yourself that you're just never going to have that type of community to support you. You're always going to be the person on the outside. Or you've told yourself that you'll never be the person who makes X amount of money or has a certain type of lifestyle. And suddenly this year, I think with building a new foundation and being very present in the moment, you're going to see something that comes through that's either A, going to show you just truly how abundant you are and perhaps how this no longer applies, or B, this is going to be a year where you really get to the root of where maybe you've been blocking yourself from really moving towards a certain level of abundance, a certain level of community, or a certain level of having more time in your life to put towards what you enjoy, and where it comes from, where it actually stems from. So you're going to be you're going to be pushed to really address where you feel that there's a sense of lack and how you can overcome that, or how perhaps you might have already overcome that. So let's go ahead and see here. So I'm going to pull a few cards and we're going to get to kind of take a look at the year, kind of looking at it from the start and what you'll be expecting as you move through. So let's see, what does Libra need to know about the full year ahead, starting from January and moving all the way in to December of 2024. Now we do have two big planetary changes this year. We do have Pluto officially moving out of Capricorn and into Aquarius, which many are calling kind of the true age of Aquarius, because there's a sense of change. When Pluto enters into a sign, there is a true sense of kind of seeing the dark side, but also revealing truths and secrets as well at the same time. And changing, truly kind of through a death and rebirth, changing our experience that is associated with the energy of that sign. So when we think of Aquarius, Aquarius is really looking at the energy of, what was I saying here? Looking at the energy of how we are as a unique individual, how much we shine and really understand what we uniquely bring, but also how we understand that we are working in service to the collective experience at the same time. So our ability to understand that dynamic will change, meaning that we are also going to have a direct change perhaps in our own perspective of what makes us unique, or how, again, we are part of a collective in some way, how we can be of service in some way. Okay, so as we are taking a look here at the cards that are coming out, so right off the bat, yeah, there is, with the Two of Wands as your starting card here, there's a sense of making a decision, of choosing a new path. The Two of Wands can sometimes be a crossroads where we have one, we can continue to go on the way that we've been going, or we can choose a new direction. It can also be where we choose to act differently than we have been up to this point, meaning that we always have a choice to, it's kind of that old saying of, if you do what you've always done, or, you're going to keep getting what you got. There's that kind of sense here. And so we can sometimes come to a crossroads, not in that we are actually physically going to go in a different direction, but that we are actually going to take action in a different way in our life and how it is already set up. Meaning that maybe in the past, we were always the one who let others decide for us. And now we're making that active decision that from this point forward, the change is that I'm going to be the one that initiates action. Or, you can build in any example there, but there's a sense here of a decision being made, the Two of Wands, that you're being asked to make a decision to either go in a new direction or to act differently than you have in the past as you move forward. Now, we then have the Magician coming in after that, which is beautiful. Okay, bottom of the deck, we also have the Ace of Swords. So there's a sense here coming through very much of clarity, awareness. There may be actually that kind of aha moment where you're like, okay, I see the truth of a situation. And that could also be what's coming through with Owl as well, that there's this kind of awareness of truth as the year unfolds for you. Now, the Magician is a beautiful energy. That is the energy of truly finding the magic within. And for many of you with the Two of Wands and the Magician, there's a sense of perhaps for some of you actually understanding that in choosing to act in a different way, you actually have the ability to manipulate your physical experience as well in a different way. Meaning that this might be where you are utilizing different aspects of maybe past experience, past talent. This can be where, maybe you're like, okay, I'm making the decision to, instead of being in the workforce, I'm going to make the decision to be a stay-at-home parent. And suddenly you're finding that, wow, all of the skill set I had from being in the workforce and managing others and managing my time and maybe even teaching others or being a leader, all of a sudden I'm finding that I can utilize that in my home experience. And you might be understanding that, okay, this is, I'm realizing I want to build on something, because with the Seven of Pentacles, there's this beautiful moment. And it's kind of interesting because in this deck specifically, this looks like the same individual, right? They both have the same hand held up. It looks like the person is at first here using almost like their own inner magic to manifest this plant. And then here's the individual again growing it even more. So there's a sense of making the decision to grow something, making the decision to possibly, whatever this shift was here, this decision that's been made at the beginning of this year is going to allow you to see something in a new way that you've been growing. Because with the world coming in, there is kind of a hard and fast stop. There's an end to a cycle here. And it could be that maybe you were growing something and you realize that, because the Seven of Pentacles does reflect taking a moment of reflection, to take a look at what you've grown, to take a look at how far it's come and the fruit of the labor that you've put in. And is it worth it? It's asking you that question. Is it worth it to continue to put my time and energy towards something? And with the world coming in, there's a sense here of no. There's a sense here of a chapter being closed on something in your life that you had been growing or had been working towards. Now, that could be because you're finding your own magic again. There is a decision here again that has been made, and there's a sense of finding your own way of working with your talents, working with your, the Magician speaks to, we all have the same things to work with in our physical experience on Earth. Every person has everything at their disposal, but it is through us, through the individual and how we work with our experience, what we have to bring, that really allows us, that's the magic that allows us to manifest what we are here to manifest for ourselves. And there's a sense of really using that and looking at what you've been creating. And there's going to be, when we're looking kind of like the progression here through the year, there's a sense really of getting to a place probably right after mid-year, getting closer to the end of summer, where there's going to be something that brings a major cycle to an end. And it could be that you are realizing, I don't want to keep living in this house, or I don't want to keep working in this place, or I don't want to keep growing, fill in the blank. And with that, I think for many of you, this is going to tie back to the Five of Pentacles. There's going to be a sense here of realizing, maybe I was investing in a certain way over here because of my fear of the Five of Pentacles happening. Maybe you're realizing I'm going to close this cycle, this chapter. And because I made this decision here, there's a sense of when we close out something, it's almost like sacrificing. There's kind of a sense of sacrificing something you've been growing, Libra. Because on the other side of it, we have the the Knight of Cups and the Seven of Cups, which is really interesting. There's almost a sense here coming in at the later portion of the year of getting into this place of realizing that there's more out there for you. Now, for some of you, this could be if this is relationship based for you. Again, it's not going to be for everybody. This is going to apply as a general reading. It's going to apply in different ways. But this could be where maybe you are growing a relationship with someone and there comes, kind of a final closing chapter to that. And this is where the hopeful romantic springs forward. This is where this is someone who wants to go out into the dating world, someone who realizes that there's so much more to life out there for them, that there is another partner, or there are all kinds of other places and ways to become emotionally fulfilled. There's definitely a sense here of, again, being very focused on growing something in the physical, trying to get it to a certain point. And for some of you, that could also be where the Five of Pentacles is coming in, where maybe for some of you, you feel like in leaving this partner or in leaving this relationship, there's going to be a sense of being kind of left out in the cold. There could also be a sense of having to, when we think about kind of sacrificing something or having to give up something, walk away from something we've been growing and manifesting, there's a sense here of loss. But is it truly loss when it's opening you up to opportunity here? Because the Knight of Cups and the Seven of Cups is definitely opportunity, and it is the hopeful romantic who is looking to go on that adventure to find themselves, to find emotional fulfillment, and to really, there's a way, there's almost a chance here for many of you, Libra, to almost like reconnect with yourself through going on that romantic quest. And again, it doesn't have to be relationship based. This could literally be that, this could, be family based. This could be friendship based. This could be, maybe you are building a community in a certain area and you realize this just isn't working for me anymore. This could be, again, a business that you're like, there's a lot of other things I can do out there and this just isn't for me anymore. There could be something like that. So I'm going to go now and I'm going to pull some additional clarifiers here to see what else. I'm going to dive a little deeper before we pull a final card. So let's see here, Libra, what is coming up for the Two of Wands? So there's the Five of Coins. There's the Five of Pentacles coming in with the choice here. There's a choice. Do you accept loss? Okay, actually, so with the Page of Swords coming in, many of you are trying to get clarity. You're trying to get an awareness of where this sense of loss and lack comes from in your life and how you can make a decision to move away from it. So this could be where maybe you have felt like you've been on the outside for a long time, or you haven't had the support that you've wanted, and you're trying to see where did that start? Where did that stem from? Why do I feel like I'm always the one who's not supported? Why do I feel like I'm always the one on the outside without help? Or this could be, or maybe you're looking at it going, why am I always the one in debt? Like, why can't I just have a savings account that looks like everybody else I know? Where does this stem from that I feel I can't achieve that level of monetary gain or that level of time in my life? Everyone else has time in their life. How come I don't have that time? There's a sense here of getting to that core again, of being curious and looking to find the truth. And that's what's going to allow you to make this decision. I think you're realizing you have a new way to act or a new way to go that's going to take you away from that Five of Pentacles. You're making that decision to not act out of fear, because the Five of Pentacles can definitely bring a lot of fear into our life, fear that we don't have enough, that we won't have enough, or that we won't be supported in our decisions. And this is saying, I think that you're finally turning your back on that. So let's see about the Magician. Tower. Yep, there. So when we think about building new foundations with the chopped wood, the Tower is bringing all the faulty things, as you can kind of see in this image here. It's bringing everything that was faulty on top of that old foundation down so that you have an easier way to build. Now, this could be making the decision to, if you're, let's say, walking away from a house that no longer suits you, and it's like, we just can't keep up with all the fixes and all the maintenance. It isn't worth it anymore. Let's go find a home that doesn't, it's like, this would be like saying, let's go buy a new build house, something along those lines. Or maybe a job had to fall away so that you have the firm foundation to start someplace new with in order to kind of, build anew in a healthier way. This could be like where maybe we have had a job where we've had it since, we were young, and we thought, well, this is just the way it is, right? I have to work in an abusive work environment, or a work environment where I'm stressed all the time, or I don't get time off. And it's like all of a sudden, maybe you have a chance to leave that job and you're like, but oh my gosh, like what if I lose money? What if I'm out in the cold? What if people don't support me in this decision? But in reality, it's like you need to start like from square one someplace else to realize I need to start from square one in a healthy work environment. And I'm not going to take less than that. I'm not going to be the one that's overworked or that doesn't have time to enjoy my family life or whatever it is. Because then we have the Queen of Swords and the Five of Wands. And this is getting to the truth of where there's been chaos in your life, where there has been too many things happening, where there has been maybe even too many cooks in the kitchens, so to speak, people coming in with their own opinions. This can also be a highly competitive work environment too for some of you. There might be a sense here of competition, or maybe you're in competition with other people. And the Queen of Swords is the person who's coming in to tell the story of that, to say, you know the truth of the situation. You can take a look at your past experiences, and you know where the chaos stemmed from. You know what the cause was of all of this shakeup in your life. You know that, this could even be letting your family, be too present in your life and making your own decisions. And there's a sense here of realizing, you know what, this was all built on a crazy, not firm foundation. So if you like, I let things get a little too out of control or out of hand, and I gotta let it go. Eight of Wands coming in for the Seven of Pentacles. So yes, the Eight of Wands, that can be fast communication sometimes. That can be like a text, an email, a message coming in over social media, but it can also be fast movement. Now the King of Swords here. The King of Swords is the energy of Aquarius, but it is also someone who has they really understand their truth. They can wield that appropriately to make decisions. This is definitely in alignment with the owl energy. And the King of Swords is also someone who really is able to make those clear decisions. So there is a sense here of really being able to stand in that energy, Libra, to make your own decision, to say it's time to cut bait, so to speak, and whatever the Seven of Pentacles is, and it's time to move, because there's an opportunity here, the Eight of Wands. This is when things kind of align to slingshot you forward into the new. And it may feel a little chaotic because it's still the same wands over here, but now they're all moving in one direction. They're all moving towards something. And there's a sense of sometimes we can get into that place, be given the opportunity, and we can, be able to just kind of move in that way. This could also be, again, some type of communication project. It could be something where an email, something along those lines. The King of Swords can also represent a judge or someone in the legal system as well. So there could be something coming in around that there is a legal decision that is changing your life or is bringing something to an end. And in doing so, it reorganizes, it closes a door, closes a chapter, and reorganizes your life so that you can go out and have a more optimistic view of your life experience. And also have more, not only optimistic, but again, a chance for reconnection to a chance of reconnection to the self, a chance to explore new opportunities for emotional connection, and a chance possibly to meet a new partner if that is something that you are looking for. Now, for the world, we have the Two of Coins, and then we have the Ace of Swords and the Page of Coins. And there's this realization, I think, for many of you that you've been juggling a lot. You've been just kind of getting lost in the day-to-day. And here's that clarity coming. Here's that Ace of Swords coming in again. There's a realization as to the one coin you want to prioritize, the one coin you want to go out into the world and work with. This could be, a new opportunity. This could be the sharing. This could be literally you going out into the workforce and saying, I need to, here's my resume, here's my experience. what else can I do with this? It's time for me to go out and be curious, because that's what the pages are. They're curious. They want to go out there. The Page of Pentacles is someone who wants to go out through direct experience and learn more about the pentacle that they have, which can be, that could be a little bit of seed money, where you realize, I want to see what maybe I can invest this money differently. This could be where maybe some of you are getting again, if there's a legal decision, it could be something where you're getting a little bit of money from that. And suddenly you're like, instead of me just kind of spinning my wheels, doing the same day to day, trying to do a little bit of everything, I'm going to take this seed money and really see what I can grow with it this time. And I'm going to start from a new perspective, saying, I'm not going to be the one that never has, the money in the bank, or I'm not going to be the person who just, lets the money slide through my fingers. I'm going to really go out there and see what I can do with this. Or this could be, again, a skill set, something physical that you have that you say, I realize I've just been in the same work environment for years. I'm exhausted. It's boring. Clarity. The realization, why don't I apply for a new job? Why don't I just see what else is out there that could fit for me? And suddenly it's like, here it goes. Here comes the next adventure. Okay. So with the Knight of Cups, we have the Five of Cups. Yeah, there's a sense, Five of Cups and Three of Cups. Yeah, there's a sense here for many of you of having lost a community, or maybe having felt like you didn't have the support that you wanted. And there's a sense here of kind of almost like getting to this place towards the end of the year where you're like, you know what? Screw it. I'm going to go out there. I know there's better people out there. I know there's a whole world. I could be the seven. I know there's a whole world of opportunity. Oh, hold on just a moment, guys. Sorry, guys. I thought something wasn't recording here, so I just wanted to take a look at that, or stop and take a look at that. So anyways, with the Three of Cups and the Five of Cups, there's a sense of, having, maybe again, had a disappointment with community support, friend groups. And there's a sense of really looking at that and realizing there are so many other areas of support out there. In fact, there's a whole wide world. And that could be where you're ready to go out and find those people. You're ready to go out and find that soul tribe, or you're ready to go out and find the people who are going to celebrate with you. And so now what I'm going to do, let's see, is we're going to get the final clarifiers here for the Seven of Cups. So we're going to see kind of what does the opportunity hold for you at the end? What is out there in the big wide world waiting for you? Yeah, the Two of Cups, I love it. Connection. That's intimate connection as well. That's where you get to really share of yourself openly, vulnerably, and you get a chance to, there's a level of equality or equal partnership too that comes in with the Two of Cups that I always like. This can be friendships. This can be the foundation for a new healthy romantic relationship. But for many of you too, I think you're going to realize with the Magician and the Four of Coins, the Four of Pentacles, where you've been holding back from actually really unleashing your own magic, from sharing your magic with others. There's a sense here with the Magician coming in over here with the Tower, the Queen of Swords, and the Five of Wands, that there was a lot that was actually getting in the way of you being able to express your magic. It's almost like you had to hide it for quite some time with the chaos that was going on in your life, or maybe even being in a competitive environment. Maybe this is just removing yourself from a highly competitive, and an environment doesn't have to mean that it's work related. This could be where you're in a family dynamic where there's a lot of competition, or there's a lot of people coming in to have their say. And you're like, you know what? I've been holding back. Four of Pentacles and the Magician. I've been holding back sharing the best part of myself with others, or really getting to connect with others in a authentic way because of what was kind of on top of it. It was forcing me to kind of hide that part of myself, or forcing me to be in a position where I actually couldn't access that part. And I think that's finally where the Tower is coming in, with the removal of that level of chaos, or the removal of that level of competition. It's like suddenly you realize, you see, what needs to come to an end, and you realize where the change needs to happen, and you get ready to go out there and do that. And part of that is the realization that maybe you haven't been connecting fully for a while as your most authentic self, and now you get a chance to really do that. And this is the place, this is the way where you get to build that support, build that new community, or possibly build the foundation for a very equal and open romantic partnership. Okay, beautiful energy. So I'm going to pull one additional card. I didn't do this for all the other signs, but I'm going to do this for you. So let's see. I'm going to pull just a Power of Surrender card. I love these cards, and I feel like this will have a good message for you guys here. Okay. All right. Ooh, I love that. Came right out too. It says surrender to your intuition. So if you notice, these two cards very similar, right? There's that I. But that's that internal I that comes directly from that, connection to spirit. It says, tune into your inner voice. Be aware of any gut feelings, flashes, knowings, or aha moments that come through to guide you. And that's exactly what the Chopwood and Owl were both speaking to, is that in really focusing on your day-to-day and really focusing on where the chaos comes from, or where and quieting that level of chaos, or removing yourself from a highly competitive environment, you're going to realize there's going to be these moments of aha-ness that's going to come through, and you're going to be like, oh my gosh, this is what needs to change. Oh my gosh, this is the decision that's been waiting for me to make. And this is where, again, getting to the root. Now, I do feel for many of you that this is very much support-based, the Five of Pentacles, with so much focus on the Three of Cups and the Knight of Cups over here. There's a sense of really, I think for many of you have felt like you haven't had that support, and there's a chance now to really have that. But you kind of have to go through this journey of self-realization, of clarity with the Ace of Swords. And that clarity is really seeing what part of the tower you've built is faulty and needs to come down, and what are the new foundations you want to build, what are they based on, and how can you start to kind of be present this year to really put those pieces in place, so by the end you really have the opportunity to show yourself as your most authentic self, sharing that with others and building new, stronger support systems for you, or the potential, again, for a new, healthy, romantic relationship. Beautiful energy. I really, really loved this reading for you, Libra. So I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day, but also a wonderful 2024. And if I don't see you again in next month's reading, I hope to see you again at some point. If you'd like to book a personal reading, you can click on the link in the description box to visit my website to see a list of my services. Otherwise, again, I will see you here on the channel for your next reading. Bye, Libra.